SQA National 5 Applications in Maths 2024 Paper 2. Okay, a bit longer this one, but let's get started straight away. SQA National 5 Applications in Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 1. A school currently has 1,200 pupils. The number of pupils is expected to increase by 5.3% for the next 4 years. Calculate the expected number after 4 years to 3 significant figures. So for this question, this is appreciation. So I'll do 100 plus 5.3 to get that percent, which is 105.3%. I divide that by 100 to get it to a decimal. Use a calculator anytime you want, but I know that's 1.053. So now it's just 1,200 times 1.053, and the power is 4. So we press equals and we get our calculator out. 1,200 times 1.053 to the power of 4, 1475.348, blah blah blah. Get rid of the calculator. 3 significant figures means I'm cutting here, so that becomes 145 rounds up to 8, and then I get a 0. 1480, let's say, pupils. And we're done there. SQA National 5 Applications of Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 2. A snooker ball is a sphere with diameter 5.2. Calculate the volume. Okay, so I need the radius because you can check the start of exam paper, and volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. So half of 5.2 is 2.6 centimetres. So volume is 4/3 pi times r cubed, which is 2.6 cubed. So again, calculate a job for that. 4 divided by 3 times pi times 2.6 to the power of 3. I get 73.622, bunch of numbers, I always put ... Centimetres cubed I'll put here, but we can round that if you want. 73.6 seems reasonable, so I'll just round that so I don't have to constantly go back and type in all the numbers in the calculator. Part 2. The density of an object is calculated using this formula, mass over volume. The mass of a snooker ball is 142 grams. Calculate the density. I'm just going to call D for density. I'm just putting the numbers in. Mass, that's 142 over volume, 73.6. Now with the given answer in grams per cubic centimetre, well, I've got cubic centimetres for my volume up here, so there's nothing. I've got cubic centimetres for my volume here, so there's nothing tricky there. And the grams there, so I'm just doing the divide. That's why it's only worth 1 mark. 142 divided by 73.6 is 1.929 grams per centimetres cubed, or about 1.93 grams per centimetres cubed, or 1.9. There's no real rounding required here. SQA National 5 Applications of Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 3. A lottery consists of a draw of 49 balls numbered 1 to 49. In a draw, 6 number balls are drawn and not replaced. In other words, you don't put them back. Those numbers were 3, 7, 12, 13, 28 and 42. If a bonus ball is then drawn, calculate the probability of the bonus ball being a number of less than 8. So we'll just need to work out how many balls are left. So how many balls are left? I've got 49 balls to start with, and I've took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 43 balls left. So that's going to be the bottom number for my probability. I need to work out how many numbers are less than 8 on top. Now you might be tempted to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But that would be a mistake because some of these balls have already been drawn. So I need to work out what balls I've got. So I've got 1, I've got ball 2, I've not got 3, but I've got 4, I've got 5, I've got 6, but I've not got 7 because 3 and 7 have been drawn. I mean, it's less than 8, so I don't go up to 8. So how many balls is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 43. Check that that's simplified. 5 doesn't go into 43, so I'm done. I can leave that as a fraction or change it to a decimal if you feel you must. SQA National 5 Applications of Maths 2024 Paper 2 Question 4. A section of gardens in the shape of 4 identical right-angled triangles. It consists of a flower bed surrounded by a patio as shown. The flower bed has a radius of 4, and the patio is the shaded area. That's the outside bit, outside the circle. Calculate the area of the patio. Well, if I calculate the area of the whole thing, I'll just need to take away the circle. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So there's lots of ways you could do this, but I'm just going to treat this as 4 right-angled triangles. So it says the radius is 4. So let me just take a note of that. There's the centre to the outside. So that's 4 metres there. And centre to outside is 4 metres there. So let me just draw out one of these triangles. We've got 5 and 4 make 9 metres on the bottom. And going up the way, we've got 4 and 3 makes 7 metres. So the area of a triangle is a half the base times the height, 9 times 7, and I've got 4 of these triangles. Again, this is calculator, so I get my calculator. Half is 0.5 times 9 times 7, and I'm timesing that by 4 to get 126 metres squared. So that's my area of all the triangles together, so the whole shape. I need to take away the circle because the patio is the shaded bit on the outside. So the circle or the flower bed is the area of a circle, and the radius of that is 4 metres. Area is pi r squared. You can get that at the start of the exam paper. Pi times 4 squared. Calculator for that. 50.265 and a bunch of other numbers. So that means that my path area is the whole area, 126 minus the 50.265 that I just worked out. I'll put meters squared there. 126 minus 50.265 is 75.735, or about 75.74 metres squared. Again, rounding isn't really that important. And we're done there. SQA National 5 Application Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 5. Akira has an annual salary of 35,670. National insurance paid on a person's salary before deductions. We have to calculate Akira's annual national insurance payment. So this is one we need to watch. Up to 12,584 is 0%. So I'm in the middle here. So I'll do 12% of the difference salary in the 12,584. So it's 35,670 minus 12,584. And it's 12% times 0.2 or times 12 and divide by 100. So again, that's a calculator job. 35,670 minus 12,584 is equal to that. Press equals times 0.2 is 2770.32, and a pound sign is required, of course. So there is the national insurance payment from this person's salary. Akira pays 9.5% of her annual salary into her pension. Her annual income tax is this. She's paid in 52 weekly payments. I calculate Akira's net pay. Okay, so we've got a salary for Akira of 35,670. So 9.4% of 35,670 for the pension. So 9.4%, just divide by 100 if you want, times 35,670 is 3352.98. So that's the pension for Akira, and the tax is this number. So her annual salary, not her weekly, annual, because we've already done everything as an annual payment, is 35,670 minus the national insurance we got earlier, minus the pension, and minus the tax. So that's just a calculator job as well. 35,670, just make sure you don't miss anything. 2770, 32, 3352, 98, 3994, 42 is 255, 52.28. But that's per year. So to work it out per month, is it month or week we want? Weekly net pay, I divide that by 52. So I just keep it in my calculator, divide 52 to get 491.39, and we're done there. A boat sails SQA National 5 Application Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 6. A boat sails east from a harbour. The lighthouse is 500 metres due north of the harbour. When the boat is at position A, 600 metres away from the lighthouse, and then it sails a further 400 metres to B. Okay, we have to calculate the direct distance from position B, and that's the dotted line up to the lighthouse. It looks a little bit hard, this question, but it is a Pythagoras question, because if I could do that squared and that squared, I would have this one. But the problem is I'm missing a little bit, so I could do that bit first. So I'm going to call this one A, and because this is the longest side of this triangle, then A is the square root of 600 squared minus 500 squared. Take away when you find the shorter side. So I can do that all in one go in the calculator. Square root bracket 600 squared minus 500 squared is 331.662, a bunch of other numbers, and we'll call that meters. Now I'm not going to round that now because I'm going to use that. So now I've got a big triangle and the height is 500 meters. So adding 400, we get 731.662. So now we can just do C equals the square root of 500 squared plus 731.662 squared. Don't worry too much about your rounding. If you did round it, I'm sure you'll be fine. Square root 500 squared plus 731.662 squared. That's 886.188. Now that is quite unwieldy. And the units there are length, so that's meters. So I will round that, I think, to 886.2 meters, or even you could go 886. If you look at all these numbers, I only rounded to one significant figure, 600, 500. So even 890 would be fine, but I think 886.2, I'm not going to be bothered about rounding at this point. Grade National 5 Application of Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 7. Rab bought a house at auction to modernise then sell. The purchase price was 85,800, and in addition he paid 1.5% of the purchase fee and £250. So what is the total he paid? He paid 1.5%, 1.5 out of 100, times 85,800, and then he added on the 250. So we'll work that out first. $1,287. So he paid 85,800 plus 1,287 plus the fee of 250. I get 87,337. Okay, part B. Rab wanted to lay tiles on the hallway floor. He needs 36 boxes of tiles and he looked at 3 different shops before buying. What's the lowest price for buying 36 boxes of tiles? So we need to do best buy for shop ABC. So let's start with A. It's £26 per box and it's a special offer, buy 2 get a third half price. So if he buys 2 and gets a third half price, we need to work out how many deals he needs. So that's 3 boxes in a deal. So 36 divided by 3. That goes 1 and 2, so 12 deals. And now we work out the cost of 1 deal. So 1 deal is £26 a box. He buys 2 of them, and he gets the third one half price. Half of 26 is 13. So 2 times 26 plus 13. Use a calculator for any sums you want to use a calculator for. So 1 deal is £65. Which means 12 deals, because he's been doing this 12 times now, is 65 times 12, which is £780. Quite expensive. Okay, let's check B. So for shop B, it's £32 a box, and you get 30% discount when you buy 20 or more boxes. Well, he's buying 20 or more boxes, he's buying 36. So I need to do, let's just split this up. 32 times 36. That's 1152, but he gets a 30% off, so you could do times 0.7, or I think most of you have just done 30 divided by 100 times 1152 and then took it away. 34560, that's his discount. So it's 1152 minus 345.60, so he pays 806.40. So there's that deal, there's that deal, and then we've got a C, and for deal C it's just £22 a box, standard price, so that's an easy one, 22 times 36 boxes. That's 792. So we've got 780, 806.40 or 792. Well, the best deal is shop A. So he's going to use shop A as the cheapest at £780. And we're done there. Question 7c. Rab modernised the house. The work done is shown in the table. So preceding task, time and days, this is going to be one of those charts. So complete the diagram below to show the tasks and time taken for each. So let's start off with no preceding task is A and 7. So you just put A and 7 in the first box and away we go. Right, what comes after A? We've got B, which takes 10, or way down there, F, which takes 18. So does anything come after B? Well, not really until right at the end, so that's going to be the short one. So that's B there, and that takes 10. So we can take a note of that one. And then, watching out, is F next, and that takes 18. So F is here for 18. And then after F is E, which is 15. And we've got two tasks, but it won't matter which for these. After F is also G for 11. And then after E and G, make sure it does say E and G, we get 9 for C. And then after C, we get D for 8. But also after C, we get H for 6. And then finally, you've got I after B, D, H. Just make sure you've got B, D, and H. Yep, and the work's done. So we've completed the diagram. Excellent. So now it says, calculate the minimum time required for the renovations to be completed. It's really asking you the critical path. So what you do is, if I go this way, I'm going to have to wait until all of this is finished, because that only takes 10. You can see tasks here that take a lot. So I can't go that way. So I'm going to have to go this way somehow. So I do A and F. So let me just take a note of that. I do A, then F. And then after F, it's either E or G. Now, E takes 15 and G takes 11. So I'm going to have to do E, and G's just going to have to hang out. So that's E. And then I get C. And then similar thing, I've got two tasks, D and H. D takes 8, D takes 8, H takes 6. H is going to wait until D is finished, so it's D. And then after D is I. So then we just add up all the numbers. We've got 7, and then I think it was 18. 7, 18, 15. And then you've got C, which is 9. And then D, which is 8. And then 1. So getting a calculator out, 7 plus 18 plus 15 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 is 58. And the units were days, so it's 58 days is the minimum time. Okay. Rab employed green plant gardeners to landscape the garden. The company told Rab 3 workers take 10 days to landscape. The company were able to provide 2 extra workers. All the workers work at the same rate, and they work Monday to Friday each week. We start work in the morning of the Monday the 2nd. Determine the date we will finish. Okay. Well, landscape the garden takes 10 days. It's meant to take 10 days, but that's the only bit we're doing, which is to say that 3 workers, 10 days. But we're going to provide extra workers, so it's going to take less time. So this is all about proportion. In inverse proportion, because it's work getting done. 3 workers take 10 days. So if I want to work out how much 1 worker takes, I do not divide by 3. 1 worker doesn't take less time, it takes more. So it's 3 times 10, which is 30 days. And now I can divide for how many workers I've got, which is 5. So 5 workers take 30 divided by 5, which is 6 days. So now it's just a date problem. We started work on the 2nd of October, which is a Monday. And that's Monday. So the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. By the end of the week, the 6th of October is a Friday. We take Saturday, Sunday off. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 5 days. We take Saturday, Sunday off. So that's 7 and 8. We go back to work on 9th of October. 9th. That's just 1 day. It's 6 days, isn't it? 9th of October. So that's Monday. So there we go. Let's just double check. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Skip. 7, 8, 9. That's 6 days it takes. I'm happy with that. 9th of October. I don't think it gives us a year, does it? Maybe go back to the future. We'll probably put Monday as well, just to be on the safe side. 9th of October. And we're done there. SQA, National 5 Application Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 8. A bathroom company counts the number of visitors in their shop in Stirling each Sunday, and the samples results as shown. Calculate the mean and standard deviation. So the mean, we add all these numbers up, which I'm not going to write out. I'm literally just going to add them in the calculator. So that's 273. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So I'm dividing that by 7, which is 39. So there's my mean. Standard deviation, start of exam paper for a formula, but the method I always use is a table like this. I call that x minus x bar, and then x minus x bar squared. And once I've got to the total at the end, that's the top of my formula. So let's take a note of our numbers: 44, 55, 32, 39, 43, 26 and 34. And then we take away the mean, that's what it means by x bar. So 44 minus 39 is 5. 55 minus 39, well that's 39, 49, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 16. Use a calculator anytime you want. 32 minus 39 is minus 7. 39 and 39 0. 43 and 39 is 4. 26 and 39, that's 26, 36, 37, 39, 13, but it's a minus. 34 minus 39 is minus 5. And now you square each of the numbers in the table. 5 5s are 25. You do 16 times 16, you get 256. You do 7 times 7 is 49, ignoring the minuses. 0, 4 4s is 16, 13 13s is 169, I believe, and 5 5s are 25. And you get a total at the end. So, what's our total? 25, 256, 49, 16, 169, 25 is 540. So the standard deviation from the start of the exam paper is the square root of the sum of x minus x bar squared over n minus 1. That top number is now 540. So it's 6 now. Square root 540 over 6 is 9.486. Or about 9.5 would be probably fine. And we're done there. As to the company shop in Aberdeen each Sunday was also recorded, the mean is 49, the standard deviation is 3.2, make two valid comparisons. So let's compare the mean. Stirling was 39 and Aberdeen's 49. So on average, Aberdeen got more customers or more visitors to the shop. And that's because 49 is bigger than 39. Now the second one's about variability or consistency. I use variability. Their standard deviation is 3.2, mine's 9.5. So the number of visitors to Aberdeen shop is less varied or more consistent, and that's because 3.2 is less than 9.5. Or you could say the 9.5 place Stirling is more varied, or Stirling is less consistent. And we're done there. We continued the shop tracks methods used to purchase a new bathroom, and the three methods use are debit, credit and cash. And last year's purchase methods were in the ratio 342, 342, and it says respectively 172 bathrooms were purchased with a credit card, debit, credit, cash. So 172 is here, and it says calculate the total number of bathrooms purchased last year. So I can work out one part by doing 172 divided by 4, and hope you realise that. So I get my calculator. 172 divided by 4 is 43. And then I just need to do 43 times the total number of parts. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So times by 9. And that gives me 387. And we're done there. The advertised purchase for a deluxe bathroom is $6,700. It can be bought with a payment plan. The payment plan is £325 more expensive than the advertised price, and it consists of 12.5% of the advertised price plus 50 equal instalments. So first bullet point, I need to do 12.5%, 12.5 out of 100 times 6,700. That gives me £837.5. £837.50. So that is the deposit. Now it says I've got 50 equal monthly instalments, but the payment plan is 325 more. So it costs 6,700 plus 325. That's £7,025. So I've paid a deposit, so I take away the deposit and then I divide by 50. So I do 725 minus 837.50. That's 6187.50. So then I just need to divide that by 50 because it's 50 equal instalments. Divide 50 and you get 123.75. So 123.75 per month, and that's my final answer. SQA National 5 Application Maths 2024, Paper 2, Question 9. Emma's planning a holiday to Spain. Her sister lives in the USA, sent her $100. She exchanged it to euros. How many euros did Emma receive? Now watch this, you need to go back to pounds first, always. So I'm starting with $100 and dividing by the dollar exchange rate of 1.30. That'll get me back to pounds, but then straight away I can times away 1.11 to get back to the euros. So that's the sum you need to do. Do it in 2 steps or 1, it's up to you. 100 divided by 1.30 times 1.11 is 85.384. So always 2 decimal places with money, 85.38. I'll just write euro because I can't remember. I don't really want to bother with the sign. 85.38 euro. Emma worked overtime to earn some extra spending money. Her basic rate of pay is £12.80. She's contracted to work 37.5 hours a week and is paid time and a half for overtime she works. Last week she worked 5 days from 7:30 to 12:30, then after lunch 1 till 5:30 on each of the 5 days. How much did she earn? Okay, so we need to work out how many hours she worked for a day. So that is 7:30, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 5:30, that's 5 hours. And then 1 till 5:30, 1300 to 17:30. So that's 1300, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 4 hours. And then 30 minutes or 0.5, 4.5 hours. That's a really bad way to write that, 4.5 hours. So that's 9.5 hours per day. And then she did that. And then she did that for 5 days. So 9.5 times 5 means she works 47.5 hours a week. And it says she's paid time and a half for anything over 37.5. So her normal basic is 37.5. And then she's got 10 hours overtime. So how you can work out what she's going to get paid is you can think of her hours as 37.5 plus the 10 hours, and it's time and a half, so half of 10, which is 5 hours. So you can add them together. 37.5 plus 10 plus 5 is 52.5 hours as she's paid for. And how much is she paid? £12.80. So it's 50, that's a 5. 52.5 times £12.80 an hour. And that is 672 with a pound sign, exactly. And we're done there. Number 9 continued. Emma intends to fly to Alicante and she considers 2 options, a bus from Edinburgh Airport and then a flight, or drive to Manchester for a flight, then to Alicante. The cost for each option are below. So this is one of these questions where I have to convert a bunch of units. So let's watch out how much cheaper. So let's do Edinburgh first anyway, because that's easier. So Edinburgh, return flights are 256, and then it's £14.50 for the bus. So that's all you have to do. That is £270.50, I think. 256, 266, 270. So that's Edinburgh. Now we need to do Manchester. So let's read this. The return journey is 492 miles. Right. Emma's car covers 48 miles per gallon of fuel. Right. So I need to work out how many gallons I suppose to start with. So for her fuel, we have got 492 divided by 48 miles per gallon. That's 10.25 gallons. So now I'm going to work out how much that costs. So it says a litre costs this, and 1 gallon is 4.54 litres. So to work out the cost, I've got 10.25 gallons. I need to times that by 4.545 because that's in litres. That'll tell me how many litres. But then I need to times how many litres by £1.42. So you can do it in one go or change it to litres, then times by the price. 10.25 times 4.545 times £1.42 is 66.15. Now let's just check if that's a return journey or a single. The return journey from Emma's house, so that's fine. So that is all. It isn't. I don't need to double it. So that's the cost of our fuel. Then we've got to add on 152 for the flight and 49 for the parking. So in total, £66.15 plus 152 plus 49 is 267.15. So that's how much it costs to drive all the way to Manchester and then get the flight. So we have to work out which option is cheaper. Well, Manchester is cheaper because 267.15 is less than 270.50. It doesn't ask you how much cheaper, so I'm not going to bother working it out. But it's like £3.35. Would you really drive to Manchester, which is, by the way, a 4-hour drive, and back? That's 8 hours to say £3. Don't think so. But there you go. Manchester is cheaper, and we're done there. Emma did choose to fly from Edinburgh. Her plane took off at 11:30. That's in local time. Edinburgh, we'll just put. And Alicante is 1 hour ahead. So plane flew 1552.5 miles for speed, 575 miles per hour, calculate local time. So I need to work out her time. So what you can remember is this tiny triangle. It's a bit of a cheat, but there you go. And if you cover up the T, it tells you to do distance divided by speed. T is distance divided by speed. The distance is 1552.5 and the speed is 575. So I just divide those put together. Now that gives me 2.7 hours, but I'll need minutes. So for the minute part, 0.7 times 60, because it's 60 minutes in an hour. So that's 42 minutes. So now we know that she is flying for 2 hours, 42 minutes. So add 2 hours, 11, 12, 1, 30. Now, that was 11:30 local time, so I might as well put that in 24-hour time, so 13:30. And then 42 minutes. So add half an hour to get me to 1400, so that's 1412. And then we need to add an hour because it says Alicante is 1 hour ahead. I want to know the local time the plane landed in Alicante, the Alicante time. So I need to add 1 hour because Alicante is 1 hour ahead. So that gives me 13. So that gives me 15:12 or 3:12 PM if you prefer. Got Maths today, we did the whole of National 5 Application of Maths Paper 2 2024 exam. Hope you found that useful. If you did, bump that like. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye.